Hey guys, it's Cord Ross and welcome to Six News. So the next season of Rainbow Six Siege and the final one of year 8 is less than a month away, as it'll be shown off in November and probably launch very early December. And unlike season 3, this one's got a lot more potential content in it. So first of all, the location of this season is Portugal, as the operator will come from Portugal, but also the brand new map as well. There's going to be Defender AI playlist and a revamp to the shield mechanics. And although there hasn't been any leaks so far about the content of this season, we do know quite a lot about it. So for instance, the new map is rumoured to be on a cargo ship off the coast of Portugal, as this is teased in a story comic where Solus is able to decrypt some data that shows that the attack helicopter that attacked Tower in Season 3's cinematic was actually launched from a commercial freight ship. Now this would make an absolutely excellent map, and if this theory turns out to be true, we also know the name of that map. It'll be called Heartbreaker, as that is the name of the ship. And that name also might be a teaser for the new operator as well. And we know that from the roadmap, this operator is coming from Portugal. And in the same story comic that reveals the potential map, we get a little teaser of some brand new bullets that are being tested by Rainbow Six. And these are reverse engineered from technology captured from Deimos, with Mira saying that her copies are not as good as the real thing. But even so, her inferior rounds that she's made will go through Rook armor like a hot knife through butter. And that's led to a lot of speculation, because we could end up with an operator who can shoot through reinforced walls, mirror windows. They could kill instead of downing people with Rook armor. There's an absolute list of stuff that this operator could do, which would be extremely powerful. And if we go with the usual order of operators, with the last one being an attacker, this could be a defender. But there's no way to say for sure, as last year we did have 2 attackers in a row, so it could well be that we have another attacker coming up. However, there's one little bit of dialogue that a lot of people seem to have overlooked, and it's what Rook says to Mira, as Mira says, "And these bullets were made using the forensic evidence we recovered," with Rook replying, "The real things are probably more powerful. Even with a vest, Harry wouldn't have stood a chance." So the big bad guy in Rainbow Six Siege this year, who is DMS and he took out Harry, well, he's the one who actually fires these bullets out of his Magnum. Now, if you're going to introduce a bullet that can go through surfaces, let's say reinforced walls, K-bar barriers, castle barricades, stuff like that, and can potentially kill players with Rook armor without downing them, then you would need to have a limitation on it. And a Magnum would be a pretty good limitation, because you wouldn't be able to just spray bullets through a wall with a full auto gun or something like that. So I think this could end up being Deimos that gets added in for Season 4. Now, of course, he's technically the big bad guy, so it'd be kind of weird to actually have him as a playable character as part of Team Rainbow, but you can also think of it this way. He was part of Team Rainbow back in the past, so you could always introduce him as a previous character back in his old school Rainbow days when he was effectively a good guy, and then of course in the Battle Pass you put his unique uniform in there and headgear and all that and make him into Deimos. So I think we could be looking at Deimos getting added in as the new operator. Now, would he get added in underneath that name, or would he get added in under his old Rainbow Six name or whatever? I've got no clue. And of course, it's very possible that this is not actually the ability of the new operator with these fancy bullets. It might just be a red herring. But I think we're probably looking at a very good teaser of the next operator's abilities, as they've done this with the previous ones as well, for the entirety of this year with the teases in the comics. So I'm going to say there's a good chance this probably will be an operator who has the ability to penetrate surfaces with some sort of special bullet. And when Team Rainbow turn up to this cargo ship in Portugal, they will find their old friend who was previously part of Team Rainbow. And we know that it's actually Wolfcard is getting sent out to respond to this, and they're more known for the humanitarian side. And they do have some old team members in there with Doc and Twitch. So it's quite possible they will recognize this other operator as a friendly rather than an enemy. Not to mention, the name of the ship is called Heartbreaker. That was something Deimos did do at the beginning of this year. And they're also missing currently a new 6. There is no one in command of Rainbow right now. It seems to be shared by the squad leaders at the moment, with no overriding 6 in charge. So they might bring this old guy who used to be in Rainbow back in the day and actually put him in charge, and he could play it off as if he was there to try and help. Maybe he'd heard about something, he was investigating something. He could totally play it off, because right now, remember, Harry is the only one who knows that Deimos was previously in Team Rainbow. Since then, it has never been mentioned by anyone else in Team Rainbow, and of course, Harry took that to his grave. So there's a good chance that the team has no idea that they're actually up against a previously friendly operator. And of course, if he then became the leader of Rainbow Six, it would certainly be an interesting but maybe predictable story. Now let's move on and talk about the other parts of the season. So the biggest one for me actually is the Defender AI playlist. This just sounds cool. Like it's going to be a playlist that is entirely populated by AI defenders and you go and you fight them. So this is going to be insanely good for new players. And I guess if you want to like try new strats or stuff like that, you're going to be able to jump in and have potentially a bit of fun with this. It might even be good for me with tests and things as I'll be able to kind of somewhat control what's going on. From my perspective as an attacker going up against these guys setting up their defense could be quite interesting and useful. And it's also got the potential to be completely and utterly useless and may be a feature that most players will just never bother to use. But I am looking forward to seeing if it is actually good. It'll be more of a tech show-off than maybe a game mode, but still, I'm looking forward to it. Then we have the revamped shield mechanics. And there's quite a few different things here with this rework. So first of all, you'll be able to reload your gun behind your shield, but you won't be able to poke it out and just hip fire. You're going to have to actually aim down sights to fire. So you might end up being more protected as a shield player than you previously were, but you're going to have less offensive capabilities. And then when you hit someone with the shield, you will knock them down like you've been hit by an air jab. And that will, of course, be a big nerf from normal, because that would normally injure a player. You're going to just knock them down, and of course, they'll be able to get up and keep shooting at you. So that will potentially be quite a nerf, but I'm very torn on overall if this is a buff or a nerf for shields, and whether it'll be good or bad for other players. I could definitely see it being a bit more interesting fighting shields, but I really just don't know how this is going to shape up for the shield players. I hope it works. Like, I'm, definitely have my fingers crossed on this, because it'd be cool if the shield mechanics were better than they currently are. I just don't know if this will end up getting there or not. But that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to wrap this up with a little conclusion now. So Season 4, I think, will be one of the better seasons. I was expecting Season 3 to be the weakest, and for the most part, I think it has been. And I think that Season 4 will be a little bit better, but we'll see how all the actual content ends up coming together. The other thing is there's still a few other things that may appear either at the launch of Season 4 or during Season 4, and that is a big balancing change. I think that will actually happen next year. And I also expect to see the privacy mode hit consoles for Season 4 as well. As they said over the last couple of seasons that this feature is coming to console, so I'm kind of expecting it to probably hit during Season 4. But other than that, guys, let me know what you think about Season 4 in the comments below. As I say, we don't yet currently have any leaks, but the official stuff has actually been quite good at giving us little teasers of what's coming, and I love breaking all that stuff down. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.